Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn show, man. Today is June the 8th, and there are just three WNBA games on the board for today, so we'll go through those. If you are looking for NBA game number 3, San Antonio Spurs at the Garden tonight, make sure you check out the video that I did yesterday because I didn't go over. I'm not going over NBA today because I did so yesterday. I'm not sure if any of those lines move. I didn't double check any of them, but I gave you guys my thoughts for game number 3 on yesterday. Went ahead and did that video early. It was a part of the WNBA. And speaking of the WNBA, if we get into a quick recap of what we talked about yesterday, it was a nice day. There's always one that decides not to come to the party, and that would have been the Portland Fire, which I ended up staying off of that game. The only thing that I played yesterday was Azurá Stevens over her 9.5 points. She got there pretty easy. I think she finished with 18. And then we also had Nair Sabli over her 9.5. She cashed that before halftime. Toronto money line minus the 125 was an easy bet as well. So yesterday's short list was 3-1. If you guys got a chance to tell, or if you like the analysis on any of those games. We're gonna jump straight into it for today. Again, it's only 3 games in the W today. The slate is kind of gross, so should be able to get through pretty quickly, and then we'll jump off of here, man. So we'll start with Jackson, your AI Sports Betting tool, linked in the description of the video as it always is. Today, I went straight to a prompt, which was thoughts on the total between the Aces and the Storm. That's the only thing that I typed in. And it says that the total for the Storm and the Aces game tonight is currently sitting about 160.5, and 163 across major sports books. This line represents significant clash between the Aces' high-octane offense and the Storm squad that has struggled to find rhythm during their 5-game losing streak. So Jackson says the consensus total is 161, and it's a fascinating number that balances the Aces' league-leading scoring with Seattle's offensive inconsistencies, while the public often leans towards the over. When the Aces are involved, the underlying data suggests the under holds the most analytical value for this specific matchup. So case for the under, it says that there's offensive stagnation. The strongest value on the board is the under. Several statistical and narrative factors suggest this game is likely to land in the 150s, providing a significant edge against current market lines. So Seattle's scoring droughts, the Seattle Storm have been a complete offensive freefall, averaging just 73 points per game over the last 10. They failed to establish a reliable half-court attack, and coming off a 68-point performance against Minnesota, where they shot just 34.9% from the field, without a secondary scoring engine to support without a secondary scoring engine in general, the Storm lacked the firepower to push the game over the high total. So then there's Las Vegas defensive surge. While known for their offense, the Aces defense has improved dramatically, allowing just 84.9 points per game, which that's a lot. 7th in the WNBA. They forced 12.4 turnovers per game and ranked 2nd in the league in opponent field goal percentage at 40.8%. Facing the Storm team that produces long scoring droughts, the Aces are positioned to turn this into a one-sided defensive clinic. So Jackson likes, and then there's offensive historical matchup trends as well. I'm not going to get into all that, but then there's a small case for the over. It's a lot to do with the Aces' efficiency and their high volume scoring. But the top recommendation is the full game under, which that line has been bet down a little bit based on where it currently is now. But that's it for Jackson for today. Just one prompt, one and done. Let's get into it for today. So first up, we'll start with the Indiana Fever and the Washington Mystics. Just really quickly, as far as the injury goes in this game, this is one I feel like you kind of got to wait for if you want to play the side. Probably the total too, because Aaliyah Boston is listed as game time decision. She's truly listed as questionable with a lower leg injury. She did stay in that game 2 nights ago when they were playing against the Liberty on Saturday. It was on Saturday evening. And then you got Kennedy Burt. You got Caitlin Clark, who is listed as probable as well. So the Fever have not been good on the road. That was the first thing that stood out to me. Just 1-3 straight up on the road. This is their first game. Oh, that was the first thing that stuck out to me. So they come in coming off back-to-back unders against the New York Liberty and the in the Atlanta Dream. However, this Washington team is not good defensively. You guys can see it in the graphics here. Washington typically has played a little bit better defense, but you can see that the defensive rating is 11th right now, and the Fever are not great offensively, ninth in offensive rating as well. But we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. So on the Mystic side of things, they've alternated wins and losses in their five straight games. And they're coming off an absolute embarrassment of a game. 32-point loss to the Atlanta Dream, where they gave up 109. I thought them plus the 9.5 was the right side. They were losing by double digits at halftime, and they played in 3 straight overs because defensively, again, they have not been great. 11th in defensive rating, 13th in offensive rating. You can see that fourth worst offensive rated team. However, the last time that these two teams played, for whatever reason, Washington, most impressive win of the season, most impressive game of the season. They go in Indiana and beat this Indiana team 104-102 way back in May. I say it like May was a long time ago, but back in May 15th to be exact, they were getting, I think they were getting 9.5 in that game. So this is a game, in my opinion, where like Aaliyah Boston really does matter. Not just on the offensive end, but also on the defensive end, as far as her influence to the outcome of the full game. This Washington team, when I was looking at the numbers, they're the worst 3-point shooting team in the W, but they do prefer to attack the paint. Down there with, Kiki Ariafin and Shakira Austin, like that's where they get their points from. Although Sony Citron did have a 30-point game the last time that these two teams played. I don't know if that'll happen again, but that's just where, this Washington team prefers to attack. They rank first in points in the paint, fourth in offensive rebounds, but Indiana gives up the fewest offensive rebounds. But if Aaliyah Boston isn't playing, that could change. I like Tipson. I think she's pretty good, second year center. I think she brings it on the defensive end, but I want to see if Aaliyah Boston's going to play. They also give up the third most points in the paint. So without Aaliyah Boston down there, maybe we see, Washington be able to take advantage of, the lack of depth, in the front court. Regardless of all of that, though, I think, especially if Aaliyah Boston plays, I think the 5.5 is, and it's difficult to lay points with Indy on the road, but I do think that they're the right side. They are just playing against a really bad defense, and I think their offense could bounce back in this spot. They're coming off a loss, so typically that's the spot you want to lay points. Well, not lay points, but you want to take a good team. And Indy has actually lost a couple games, not in a row. They beat Atlanta, but before that, remember they had lost 2 games in a row as well. So they've lost 3 of their last 4, and I think that they can get the job done here. Some clear matchup advantages that I saw as well, like the 3-point shooting. They're top 5. You can see all this in the graphic, but they're top 5 in 3-point shooting. Washington is bottom 3 in the WNBA in that category. Washington also typically doesn't force a lot of turnovers. They don't get a lot of offensive rebounds, and they foul a lot. All of that is in the graphic that you guys can see. So I think Indiana is the right side. I want to leave Boston in though, and then maybe I'll take Indy, but we'll see how it goes. Player prop wise, I didn't really look too deeply because of the Leah Boston thing, specifically on the offensive side. But I think that influences like numbers for Kiki Ariafin and Shakira Austin, the rebounds, and there will be some opportunities for some of these Indiana players if she is not available to go. But keep your eye on the injury report. We'll see how it goes. All right, next one up is the New York Liberty and the Connecticut Sun. So all big favorites today as well. 2 road favorites and then a big home favorite as well. So next up, Liberty and the Connecticut Sun. So this game will not have Sabrina. She has already been rolled out. Kennedy Burke for the Connecticut Sun is game time decision, and Brittany Griner has also been rolled out. So, man, as much as you would like to, fade this Connecticut Sun team, they have not been great, right? You can see it in the graphic here. The worst net rated team. Defensive rating, second worst, offensive rating, second worst. And, even since Layla LeCon has come back, still just haven't been able to get the job done, put it together. So if we look at the Liberty side of things, this is their first game off a 7-game homestand. They beat the Fever in that last game. They've played just 3 games on the road, 1 and 2 ATS on the road so far. And I do kind of think that they're coming off, like I was watching the end of that game against the Fever the other day, and it was an emotional win. You could tell that they kind of really wanted that game. Stewie was out there, going super hard. It looked like it was playoff intensity in that game, and they were able to come back from down 10, to win that game. So 4 straight wins for them, 4 straight covers for them as well. And, they were able to do it without their 3-point shooting. They shot just 2 for 18 from the 3-point line versus Indy and still got to 83 points. This Connecticut team, you can see as far as pace goes, they don't play super fast. It's kind of middle of the pack. It is their first game back home off a 2-game road trip. They played 7 of their last 10 on the road. So for that reason, I don't want Connecticut. Like, I think it's really difficult for me to want to lay this many points with the Liberty. I think when I ultimately thought about it, that shifted, both of those things kind of shifted me towards the total. Don't want the Liberty coming off the emotional win. Don't want Connecticut coming off back-to-back home games, and they played 7 of their last 10 on the road. So I kind of went to the total, and I agree with the move going up here. Let's see, 161.5 was the let's see. Yes, it's up to 163.5 on most books. You can get a 162.5 on FanDuel, and that's what I would bet if I'm betting this game. I wanted to, and real quick, matter of fact, let's just do it. Let's just do it live real quick. I want to go over, because one thing I've been paying attention to with this Connecticut Sun team is that their offense just kind of dries up in the second half for whatever reason. They can't score the basketball. So I was thinking maybe a potential first half over in this game. So if we go here, this is Money Baller, and it's linked in the description if you guys are interested in checking it out. Discounted as well using that code. So I got a couple systems here on the over. You can see, well, one system, over when road favorites have won in a few in a row, and versus dogs haven't lost a few in a row, and that is 54%, 56% last over the last year. But if we come down here and we look at, let's look at some of this. All right, so Libs, road favorites, 3-0 in the first half. I'm sorry, 2-1 in the first half. Connecticut Sun as a home dog, though, not as good. They're actually 1-2 in the first half. I just kind of think we see points early. I don't want to trust this Sun team to be able to score for the full game. But I do think that the Liberty are going to be able to score the basketball. Their team total right now is listed at 88.5, and I think it was 86.5 yesterday, and it's gone up a little bit. But yeah, I kind of think that they can get to 90 points in this game. And I kind of think that Connecticut can get to 75 as well. I think 75 is a pretty low number. Not that Connecticut's offense is really good, but Lacan being back, Liberty may not bring it on the defensive end. So those are my thoughts. From a player prop perspective, if we transition over to Outlier, there's a couple that stand out. If you think that, let me just zoom out a little bit. If you think that the Liberty are going to shoot the ball well, which I kind of do, just because they shot so poorly in the last game. I'm looking at Maureen Johannes over her 3-point prop, so it's 2.5. And we look at her numbers for this season. It's not even predicated on her numbers for the season. It's really just predicated on the defense. You can see here, this Connecticut Sun team, 11th in 3-point defense, allowing teams to shoot 35.6%. But looking even deeper, the Libs take the 4th most attempts in the league. They make the 3rd most. Connecticut is bottom 3, defending the above the break 3 specifically as well. And Maureen Johannes gets 60% of her points from the above the break 3. And she's taking at least 5 attempts. You can come down here, look at her attempts. She's shooting 44%. You can see that. But she's taking at least 5 attempts in five games. And it's really just based on 5 straight games. And it's really just based on volume, right? Like, she's going to make 3, in my opinion, if she goes out here and she gets to 6. Now, keep in mind, this Fever game, Fever are actually top 3 in opponent 3-point, field goal percentage. And she still hit 2 of her 5. So I think the volume will go up. She'll probably get closer to 6 or 7, in my opinion. The minutes have been solid as well. You see 31 to about 24. One in here where she played 19. But yeah, I think Maureen Johannes over her 2.5 threes at -114 is a really great look for today. So that's the player prop that really kind of stuck out to me the more that I was looking into them. But over, full game over, and Maureen Johannes are what I would play. I also considered Jacqueline Jones over her rebound prop at 8.5. We talked about her, not playing as well in the following game, just not being able to put it together consistently. And I think we kind of see I think we see that in this game. If you think that Connecticut is going to struggle to score the basketball, then you kind of got to get on some of these rebound props. And Jacko Jones, I think she's listed at 8.5. I think Jacko Jones can go out there and get 9 boards today, especially if it's going to be a bunch of misses. Because Stewie rebounded the ball a little bit better than I thought she would in that last game. So Jacko to get her boards in this game makes a ton of sense in my opinion. 8.5 is the number, minus 120. About minus 130. So it is getting a little juice. And she has hit in 5 straight games. Not that that matters, but Connecticut, not one of the better rebounding teams. And if you expect them to miss, but we'll see how that goes. I like Marie Johannes a little bit more. All right, last game on the board. And hit the like if you can, subscribe if you guys have not. Let's get through this last game so we can get out of here. So last one up is Seattle, Las Vegas. 14 is what the Libs were laying. It's up to 15.5, and the total 163.5 is down to 159.5. So Lexi Hall, not Lexi Hall. I'm tripping, not Lexi Hall. Lexi Brown, my fault. Lexi Brown for the Seattle Storm out. Ezzy continues to be out. Malunga came back in that last game. And then on the Aces side of things, Kennedy Carter is listed as game time decision and no Dana Evans still. So Seattle just really got awful on the offensive side of the ball, man. Their offense won't allow them to win any games. You can see that they're the worst offensive rated team in this graphic at the top left. Defensively, they are 4th, which is why the money's coming on this under. They play, pretty slow, 9th in pace, whereas the Aces like to get up and down the floor. Seattle just 1-5 straight up on the road. This is their 2nd straight road game, and they actually look really good for people who got a chance to watch them play on Saturday against the Minnesota Lynx. They were just knocking down threes. I think they ended up with like close to 20 points in the first quarter, and then still ended up not covering the game and losing by double digits. Not even just by double digits, but losing by I think 20. And they played 3 of their last 4 games on the road, 5 straight losses. They haven't reached 73 points in 5 straight games, and 9 and 1 to the under on the full season. So that's why the money's coming on the under in this spot. However, they are averaging, you can see, let's see, is it in this graphic? They are averaging, I think it was 70, maybe it's not in this graphic, but it's in another graphic that I have. This Seattle Storm team is averaging 75 points per game, and that is the fewest. Their team total today, though, is actually 71.5. So that's the reason why I can't get in on the under here. It's not that the Aces can't blow them out, but do the Aces really care enough to do so? They are just 1 and 2 ATS at home, back-to-back unders for the Aces as well. And they've won and covered 3 games in a row. So I just feel like they could potentially overlook the Seattle team. Even if they do, though, like who on Seattle's going to score the basketball outside of, Flage? I feel like she's the only person that's being super consistent. So I guess I don't want to take – it's hard for me to take unders in Aces game just because their offense is so good. The Aces team total is at 88.5. I'm not sure if they need to score that many to get there and win this game. But Aces early makes a lot of sense, I think. Like, I think Seattle will have a little bit of regression at the beginning of the game. I don't think that they'll start that hot. So you can get the Aces, first quarter or first half team total over. I think those are ways to look for the Liberty as well, playing against that Connecticut Sun defense today. But I don't have a strong opinion on this game, so I'm not going to waste your time. But that's my thought process. Just maybe Aces early. I feel like if we go back to, I'm not going to do it on the screen, but if we go back and look at the Aces, they've been better in the first half than they've been for the full game. The numbers to prove that is, they're 8-1-1. So Aces first half, 8-1-1 ATS in the first half, and I think that they should be able to get the job done again. You're laying like 9 with them in the first half, and they've been that kind of good. Real quick, let's just put some more numbers to that. So let's go see them. Let's talk about 617. So they're +4 in the first quarter, and actually only plus. They're actually losing the second quarter, so they have not been great. Let's see. Third quarter, actually. So maybe they're slowing down a little bit. Third quarter, they've actually won 2 games in a row after not doing as well. But I feel like the Storm team, typically if you want dogs, you want them early, and then they kind of run out of gas. The Storm haven't been good in any quarter, honestly. Fourth quarter has been their best quarter. But yeah, they just haven't been good at all. So honestly, I'm not sure what to do with this game, man. I don't think I could take the total because I would want to get the best number, and it's come down 3 points already. So I'm gonna be off of this game. Probably won't play anything at all, and didn't really look too deeply into player props. If we are getting into a quick recap, let me get all this off the screen. NBA stuff is still up here, but if we're getting into a quick recap, and I'm gonna just take NBA stuff off here too, honestly, just to get all of it off. All right, so we're getting into a quick recap as far as WNBA goes today. I really want to get there with Indiana, minus the 5.5. I know it's not the sexiest bet, but I need to see what happens with Aaliyah Boston. So I'm not going to play anything in that game. New York and Connecticut, it would be over for me. New York, Connecticut over. Best number you can get over 162.5 on FanDuel. And then Maureen Johannes. Hold on. Yeah, Maureen Johannes. Over her 2.5 threes. 2-point makes. And potential look at Jacqueline Jones over her rebounds as well, 8.5. I'll put Indy up here, minus the 5.5, pending injury report. I do think they're the right side. Even with the Washington Mystics coming off that really terrible loss where, their coach got escorted off the court by the police. I think these are the three ways that I'm looking at the slate for today, man. Whatever you guys are betting, I'm wishing you guys the best on whatever that is. Resources all linked in the description of the video. Check these out if you are interested. And that'll be it for today, man. We'll be back tomorrow. Best of luck on your NBA action for today as well. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Come on.